They don't speak my name anymore. The villagers, they call me the Root Witch, if they bother to call me anything at all. They whisper it, like a curse, like a warning meant for children who wander too far. But I wasn't always this. I was once a daughter of the grove, a keeper of seasons, a druid, a voice that rustled beneath the bark. I remember when this forest was young. The trees, they sang then, not with leaves, but with memory. Every ring in the trunk was a hymn to the sun. Every root, a vein of the earth. I walked barefoot through the moss, and it knew my step. I bled into the soil, and it remembered my name. You see, I wasn't born in the way they understand. I was grown. The grove chose me when I was still small enough to fit inside the hollow of the old ash tree. My mother left me there, wrapped in linen and lichen. She whispered the old words, the ones that bind and protect. And then she walked away. That was the way of things back then. The forest raised its own. I learned the language of rot, the quiet rhythm of decay. I knew which mushrooms whispered truths and which ones lied with sweet poison. I could hear the heartbeat of the earth itself, just by pressing my ear to the gnarled roots. It pulsed slow, patient, eternal. But the villagers, they built fences. They dug wells. They put names on things that should never, ever be named. They only came to me when they needed something. A cure for a fever. A blessing for a failing crop. A child turned wrong in its mother's womb. They'd leave offerings, a bowl of milk, a jar of honey, sometimes a child's first tooth. I took them. I gave what I could in return. But they never stayed long. They feared what lingered in the shadows here. They feared what I had become. I don't age as they do. My skin is soft like bark. My hair is the color of lichen on an old stone. I sleep beneath the roots now, curled up in the hollow of the oldest oak. It dreams with me. It remembers the first fire, the first human scream. I remember the last time they tried to burn me. They dragged me from the grove with ropes made of braided nettle. They built a pyre of green wood, wet, smoky, meant to be slow. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I just whispered to the flame, and it listened. It turned inward, consuming itself, until only ashes remained. They left me alone after that. Last winter, a boy came into the forest. He said he was lost, but he carried iron. He didn't ask permission to enter. The trees warned me. The crows circled above him. I watched from the canopy, my breath as slow as rising sap. He found the stone circle, the one their ancestors buried long ago, the one that hums when the moon is wrong, and he touched it. The whole forest shifted. I tried to stop it. I whispered the old words, the ones of unmaking. I offered blood. Mine. His. But it wasn't enough. The stone opened. What came out wasn't a beast, not a god. It was a forgetting. A hunger shaped like silence. It moved through the trees like rot. It touched the boy, and he just vanished. Not screamed, not ran. He just ceased to be. The villagers came searching. They found his boot, his knife, and they blamed me. They burned the edge of the forest, screaming prayers to gods that have never answered them. I watched from the shadows. I said nothing. I'm not their witch. I am the forest's memory. And the forest is starving. It's forgotten the sun. It's forgotten the names of the birds. It remembers only the stone, the boy, the hunger. I tried to warn them. I carved runes into their doors. I left bleached bones in their wells. They called it a curse. It was protection. They don't understand that forgetting is its own kind of death. Tonight, the moon is wrong again. The stone hums. I feel it in my teeth. I will go to it. I will offer myself, not as a sacrifice, but as a seed. I will lie beneath the stone, and I will let it remember me. I will whisper the name of every tree, every crow, every child who ever walked these woods. I will braid my hair into the roots. I will become the hymn again. If I fail, the forest will bloom with forgetting. The trees will walk. The roots will speak. And no one will remember they were ever human. But if I succeed, they will call me Druid again, and I will wear it like moss. Thank you for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, please consider following for more tales from the deep woods.